Welcome back to the show, everybody. We've got a question today, and I'm going to warn you that this is one of those topics that I get pretty passionate and frustrated and a little bit annoyed with. But it's a very honest question, but I just wanted to warn you in advance. And this comes to us from Dana. And Dana writes, I have recently been invited to submit some photographs to a band that I really like. They have opened this as sort of a contest, but the photographer that they select will get paid and be featured on their website, some posters, etc., etc. Any advice on how I can stand out and better my chances at being selected? Dana, thank you for the question. This is what's known in the business traditionally as spec work. How do you stand out? You avoid it like the plague. You run, have nothing to do with this. I hate these types of setups. And if you're not familiar with spec work, basically what the deal is it's somebody that thinks this is a wonderful idea, that they will ask for kind of a cattle call of entries of something, whether that's graphic design or photography or whatever. And it's usually based on some sort of specification. So they'll say, here's what we need, and you guys go ahead and do the work. We're going to pick the best one, and we'll pay them, so it's okay. You know what? It's not okay. What this says is it says I have no integrity. I have no interest in helping this industry at all. I have no interest in ourselves. For the client, of course, they're very interested in themselves because they're going to select from this huge contest of entries and look through this wonderful catalog of photography to pick the one they want to pay for. People, it does not work like this. This is the equivalent of saying, you know, my plumbing needs repair. I'm going to call 5 plumbers and have them come over and do some work, and the one I like the best I'm going to pay. You're going to have 4 angry plumbers. Well, you probably wouldn't have anybody show up. Or let me put that differently. Let's say you go into a restaurant and the waiter comes over to take your order, and you say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and order everything. I want 10 dishes here, and I'll pay you for the one that's the best. So I hope they're good. Hope you do a good job. I mean, how messed up is that? This just makes no sense. This is even dumber than working for free, to be honest. I'm sorry I'm so passionate about this. And Dana, I'm not trying to insult you at all. You asked me an honest question, and I'm giving you a very impassioned answer. Dana, my advice here is to have more respect for yourself. This is worse than working for free. When you're working for free, at least you know you're not getting paid. With this, you're going to pour your heart and soul into something. You're going to go show up at a bunch of concerts and shoot photographs of the band, I assume, or something conceptual that they've asked for. And you're going to spend all this time on that just to show up, turn it in, and hope that you get selected and get paid for it because it's going to promise exposure and all that stuff. And exposure's the dumbest thing in the world, too. I mean, that goes back under the working for free episode that I did. But, I mean, you know, never do that. You've got to have more respect for yourself. I don't do that. My time is valuable. It has value attached to it. If I'm going to make photographs for somebody, it's going to be because they've hired me to do it. They like my work. I just have more integrity than that, and I want you to have more integrity than that too. Just say no to these. I remember the first time I ever heard about one of these. And I was brand new to the business, and actually it was a graphic design competition, and I had a lot of friends who were designers, and I was in a local club that did graphic design, and anyway, it was an association of bar owners in a prominent area of Dallas. It's kind of, you know, one of those neighborhoods everybody goes to hang out and go to the bars, and all the bar owners association, so it's a conglomerate. They were doing a lot of promotion for the bars in the neighborhood and stuff, and they had started their own association, and they needed a logo. They went to the design club and actually bought an ad on the website to advertise this spec contest that they had. This is what we're looking for, and we're going to pick the best one. And then they also promised, you know, exposure and all that nonsense. And it was the dumbest thing. And I remember the forums on this thing, this is back when forums used to be big, this was at least 10 years ago, just erupted, and everybody was frustrated and angry and upset. And I never really, at that time in my life, knew what spec work was. You know, it was earlier on in my career, and I didn't see what the problem was because I was starting out, and I thought, oh, well, you need to get exposure somehow. Well, what you don't realize when you're starting out is there are idiots out there who will take advantage of you, and they think, well, they don't think. They're in it for themselves. They want a selection to choose from, even though they're willing to pay for it. And they don't realize how bad that is for everything. It's bad for them. It's bad for us. It's bad for everyone in our industry that's out there trying to make a living doing this. And I don't think I even need to go into, you know, how difficult the photography industry is and how competitive it is and how fewer jobs there are these days anyway. But anyway, my whole way of getting around to this, and I kind of feel bad because I don't want to sound like I'm coming down on Dana who asked this question. Don't do it. Spec work is up there with free work. It's BS. It's just avoid it. I don't even consider it. It exists, and there are a lot of idiots in the world that are willing to put this kind of thing out there. And if I've insulted anybody out there, I'm sorry, but that is how I feel about this. And I just think that when you're dabbling in experimental professional practices, you're playing with fire. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you have thoughts on it, feel free to leave a comment. But like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.